good team. Hell, they just won the cup. But there is no way this kid is good enough to fill the skates of our guy who retired at the end of the season. Yes, he was getting old and slow, but this kid, after all the shit I've heard about him, all the times I've been told he's nothing but a troublemaker, no fucking thanks. I have zero interest in babysitting. I'm focused on a deep cup run, not worrying about some young little shit who will likely cause the team much more trouble than he's worth. I take it you're not a Carolina fan? I look up to find the bartender watching me with curious eyes. They've got a glass in one hand and a rag in the other. I pinch my brows together in a silent question. They nod toward where my hands are turning white around the glass of whiskey I'm holding. You're squeezing that glass extra hard and glaring at the television, so I assumed it had something to do with that. By the way you break that glass, you pay for it. I bring the whiskey to my lips and guzzle down what's left before setting it back down and pushing it toward the bartender. Can I get one more? They let out a low laugh, probably at my non-answer. Sure thing. They turn to grab me another whiskey with precisely 2 ice cubes, the perfect number to open the flavor while not watering down the booze, and I turn my attention back to the television. Hayes was part of the incredible history-making Stanley Cup run the Comets had last season. The commentator turns to the man next to him. So what do you think, Jonesy? Think you'll add something to the Seattle Serpents that they're missing? Jonesy laughs obnoxiously. Well, Chuck, the addition of him certainly couldn't hurt. They have these big stars on the team, you know, and I don't want to mention any names, but they know who they are. They aren't showing up like they need to, so maybe a younger guy is just what they need. I gnash my teeth. Fuck Jonesy. Fuck him and fuck Chuck, and fuck all of them sitting at that desk with those smug smiles, but especially Jonesy because I know it's me he's referring to. Have I been up to par out on the ice lately? No. This was my worst season in the NHL by far. That said, do I need it constantly thrown in my face, especially during the off-season? Fuck no. The bartender slides a new whiskey in front of me at the right moment, and I waste no time snapping it up and tossing it to the back of my throat. I use 2 fingers to shove the empty glass back their way. Another. They look down at the glass, then at me, brows furrowed tightly. I raise one of my own, begging them to challenge me. I'm not drunk, not even fucking close. I'm well within my rights for another drink, and right now I could really use another drink. Finally, after several beats, they nod and turn to grab the bottle. This time when they push the glass back my way, I take my time sipping on it, trying my best to tune out the bullshit being spewed on the television. Right, Jonesy, but even though things didn't pan out for them last season, they still have some incredible veteran players on their team. That's got to count for something. All right, I take back all the bad things I said about Chuck. He can stay. It does, but only if those guys step up. If their veteran guys or Vezina finalist goalie aren't doing what they're usually pretty dang good at to close out games, it doesn't matter, Chuck, especially not when you have Vegas, who went all the way to the final their first year. It just looks bad all around. Yep, fuck Jonesy. My phone buzzes against the counter, and I glance down at the screen. Wow, you really aren't a Carolina fan, huh? I peer to my right where the voice came from. There's a woman who looks at least a few years younger than me, sitting 2 chairs down. She swirls the wine in her glass, and her other arm is slung across the back of her chair, her body angled my way. Her eyes flick between my face and my hand wrapped around my whiskey. I loosen my grip, not missing how the corner of her plump pink lips twitches like she's trying to hold back her laughter at my clear discomfort. Tugging my hat down lower just in case, I rest my forearms on the bar top and tell her, don't have much of an opinion on Carolina. She snorts out a laugh. It's loud and pulls the attention of several people, especially since the bar is quiet. But if the new eyes on her bother her, she doesn't show it. Strike one, she mutters. Strike one? She shoves her shoulders back and sits up straight, tipping her chin up. You lied. You look like you're about to hulk out every time someone says something about Carolina. That proves you have an opinion about the team, even though you claim otherwise. So? She lifts a shoulder. Strike one. She's not wrong, but I sure as hell don't appreciate being called out on it. I don't want to talk about it, but she's either not picking up on that or doesn't care. And you're keeping score because... Ever so slowly, she drags her eyes...